Welcome you guys. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jocelyn Perez. Mi nombre es Jocelyn Perez. And este es mi canal de Cocina de Amor con Señora Perez. This is my channel with Kitchen of Love with Miss Perez. Welcome. If this is your second time, this is my second video actually recording right now for you guys. So if you coming back from my first video, welcome back, and I'm so glad that you came back. And if this is your first time watching me, then hey, you're more than welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Alright, so for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I make my sofrito. For all you English speakers out there that don't know what that is, that's pretty much like a base that us mostly Spanish people use for everyday dinners, everyday dishes. And it's just exploding with flavor, and it pretty much gives all the flavor for your food and everything like that. No matter what, at least for me on mine, I'm Puerto Rican, so no matter what Puerto Rican dish I make, I always use my sofrito. Some people use more ingredients. I just use whatever is available, because not all ingredients are available, depending on where you live or what area. But I'm gonna show you guys how to make it with the main basic ingredients, so you'll be good to go. You can just find these pretty much anywhere in the country. Para los que hablan español, voy a enseñarles en el día de hoy cómo yo preparo mi sofrito. Yo sé que hay muchos más ingredientes que nosotros utilizamos para el sofrito, pero yo utilizo lo que yo tengo disponible, no solamente en mi casa, en el hogar, pero también en la área donde vivimos, porque no todos los áreas son iguales y no todos los sitios tú puedes conseguir todo lo que necesitas para un sofrito verdadero puertorriqueño, ¿verdad? Pero por ahora voy a enseñar también a la gente americana cómo hacer el sofrito básico, con los ingredientes que más necesitas para hacer un sofrito básico típico. Alright, so this will be just your typical sofrito. You know, not everywhere you can find all the ingredients that some people use for a real Puerto Rican sofrito, but I use whatever's available. Not every area you can find everything the same. So I'm just gonna show you guys how to make typical sofrito. So for today, we are using green pepper, a whole onion. I already have one cut up on here, as you can see. And I usually use 2 peppers. I cut one up already so you guys can see the size of the pieces that I usually cut it. That way I can just throw it in the blender, and it's not so much work on the blender as well. We're also gonna use garlic. These are like your main ingredients. As long as you got these and you can find them along with cilantro, you're good, you're fine. There's other stuff, like I said, that you can use, but they weren't available at the store at the time, so I just bought the main things. And this is pretty much how it turns out. You know, this is pretty much how it turns out. There's your sofrito. There's a lot of people that put sazon in it. Sazon is like kind of like a red seasoning that you can purchase at any supermarket, Walmart. They usually sell it, stuff like that. And it makes it red. It gives it a little bit more added on flavor, but honestly, you really don't need it if you don't want it. These are like your main key ingredients. All right, so first, I'm gonna show you guys how I cut the pepper. Primero voy a enseñarle cómo yo pico el pimiento verde. Y ya yo piqué una cebolla, que es lo que yo utilizo normalmente, es una cebolla toda picadita y 2 pimientos verdes. Ya yo piqué uno aquí con el tamaño de pedazos que yo normalmente lo pico cuando lo tiro al sterilizer. Eso ahora, así es como yo pico el pimiento. Y esto es bien rápido, bien fácil de hacer. This is very fast and very easy to do. Like if you're a busy mom or a busy person, you know, this is really, really quick to make, and it lasts you for a very long time to cook with. This is pretty much the base. Like we use this for any dish that we cook because it adds so much flavor. Like even if you don't have onions or peppers, or let's say you're out of condiments to cook with your food, as long as you got this in your fridge, you don't even need no other condiments, to be honest with you. This is like pretty much all the flavor right here, pretty much. All right, so we're just gonna cut it like this, see? And these size pieces, you don't have to cut it too small because you're throwing it in the blender anyways. No tienes que picarlo tan pequeño porque como quiera lo vas a tirar en el sterilizer para que se mezcle todo bien chévere. I don't cut them in such big pieces like that again, so it's not much work on the blender, and it blends a lot faster that way and gets done a lot quicker. I prefer to use a blender for it because it blends it all up, purees it very, very well, rather than, you know, like a regular food processor. A food processor just slices it differently and it's not the same consistency, it just turns out different. But I prefer to use the blender. All right, so I got the second pepper all cut up. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the onions in there. Again, I like to separate it, break it up a little bit so it's not too much on the blender. Voy a tirar la cebolla. Voy a meter la cebolla aquí adentro, pero lo rompo un poquito para que no sea tanto trabajo para este dresser, ¿verdad? Aunque este dresser es bueno, pero como quiera. No todo el mundo tiene el mismo dresser. Okay, so now we're just gonna, I usually just throw in a whole thing of, a whole head of garlic in there. Because you're making a pretty good amount. This amount will last you pretty good. Normalmente yo utilizo uno de estos ajos enteros y lo tiro ahí adentro. Y eso es lo único que necesita por la mayor parte, porque esto es bien potente en el sabor. Once again, I'm smashing it because this is like the easiest way to just take the whole peel out all at once. Because garlic can be very difficult sometimes to peel, such as this one. That's all right. I'm gonna get it. All right, see, just like that. But for garlic, it's not that big, so I just throw the whole thing in there, which makes the process a lot easier and a lot faster as well. And you can store this, you can make loads of this if you want to. You can store it in the freezer. It lasts in the freezer. You can leave it in the fridge if you're currently using it. So you can make a lot of it. It lasts, and it doesn't really go bad like that because it's all like fresh ingredients and all that. But yeah, garlic and pepper and onions and cilantro. There's other like smaller peppers that you could throw in here. I don't really know what they're called in English, but in Spanish they call them ajíes. And they're spicy ones just like they're sweet ones. My mom used to use the sweet ones a lot in Puerto Rico, but they're kind of hard to find over here. So I haven't used those in a little while. And then if y'all can help me out and translate how to say recao in English also. It's another type of leaf. Not like, it's different from cilantro, but it has a really good smell to it and it adds really good flavor as well. But that's kind of hard to find as well around here. All right, so now we got the peppers, the onion, and the garlic all up in there. So now we're gonna throw in some cilantro in there as well. All these ingredients, it's crazy how you don't need that much because just these main ingredients is like exploding with flavor. That's why. And they blend so good together. All right, so I'm just gonna throw like about this much of cilantro in there. It's pretty good. Gonna wash the cilantro. All right, I'm gonna just throw it all up in here. And in there. Then I also like to add a little bit of water. Just to liquefy it a little bit so it won't be so tough or with such a tough consistency, but you only need a little bit really. And then some people add salt to it, you know, if you blend it and you know, it tastes like too bland or something like that. I mean, it is gonna taste strong, I'll be honest with you, because of the garlic and onions and all that. But if you want to add a little bit of salt, you can always do so if you have to. Some people add olive oil to it. You can add olive oil to it as well a little bit. That's good too. So now let's just blend this baby up. Sorry about the noise. Much gonna blend it until you don't feel like it's such a rough consistency anymore on the blender. And then, you know, you always gotta try it. Make sure that it tastes good, of course. Let's see here. Just gotta taste it real quick. Like I said, it's a strong taste because of the garlic and onions and everything like that. But since I grew up on this, my mom has been teaching me how to do this since I was very, very little. And I grew up on it. Like, I could eat the stuff like it's dip. It tastes so good to me, but not everybody's like that, okay? All right, so let's just add a little bit of salt because we're not doing a sazon. We're not doing a sazon sofrito right now. So just add a little bit. A little bit. That's all you need. Because it's mostly fresh ingredients anyways. Then we're gonna blend it a little bit more because there were still some pieces of cilantro in there. Alright, so now that we blended it a little bit more, should be good to go now. And if you still have like a few pieces of like cilantro floating around in there, you're perfectly fine. Don't even worry about that because you're just gonna throw that in the pot anyways before you cook anything really. So either way, it's gonna go in there either way.
Well,
that's pretty much how it ends up being. And you're gonna see the consistency now as I pour it into the container here. You're gonna see it come out just like this. Green. Lovely green. You know, if it's green, it's good for you. It's healthy. Because, I mean, I would make it with the sazon, you know, just to add like some color, like some reddish color to it. But to be honest with you, you know, them packaged things are like, they're so high in sodium sometimes. Even the ones that have less sodium. Like, I don't know. I don't really use it that much. And sometimes I don't even use salt. I don't have to use salt, so I barely use salt at that. So now we're just gonna pour it on in here. As you can see, the consistency is thick. It's like a puree. That's what you want. See that piece of cilantro in there? So funny. It's all right. We'll leave that over there. And yes, these containers are recycled. I like to use more than once. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You got sofrito right there instantly. So trust me, if you decide to try it, if you've never had sofrito before, you use this wherever you cook. I use it to cook my beans. I use it to cook, you know, my stewed meats. I use it to cook soup. I use it to cook pretty much anything. It's full of flavor, and you'll remember me when you do. I dare you to try it. You'll like it. Muchas gracias para mi audiencia. Thank you very much all you guys for watching. Muchas gracias por verme como yo preparo un sofrito básico típico. Y es perfecto porque yo lo utilizo para todo. Lo utilizo para habichuelas, para asopado, para guisado, para todos. Ustedes los hispanos, la mayoría de ustedes saben de lo que estoy hablando. Y son bien, me imagino que están de acuerdo conmigo. But thank you again. I'm glad you enjoyed my video. Hope to see you again soon with my up and coming videos. God bless.